Good evening, and welcome to another scene in Mage from the Ashes in the Living World of Darkness. Today's scene takes place. We start our scene in the common room of the Chantry above the Happy Dragon restaurant. Seemingly chipper, or at least somewhat cheerful, Julie is currently making food, as she tends to do. It's just making some sort of vegetarian thing. And she seems to have been working out, as she has been doing quite recently. Recently, she's been doing that a lot. People know that she's been working out with Lee, but well, yeah, she's actually in sort of training clothes, I suppose you could call it. And yeah, she's just making some food.
James is there. More in the common room area. There's a glass of scotch on the table, and he has two guns disassembled down to the springs that he is cleaning and putting back together.
Julie knows that guns are a thing they have to, well, have. Once she begins to, done with the food, she's made enough for a couple of people. Tends to be the way she does. She makes food in rather big batches. She doesn't eat too much, but she will offer James some, and she just says, do you need to do that here? I don't know, it's a little, yeah.
Hasn't bothered anybody before. I mean, I figured it would be better than being antisocial.
Well, I don't know. Just it might go off. I don't know.
There's no way it's going to go off. He gestures to the parts that are even the screws are out.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. It's good. We're good.
I promise. And the bullets are in my room.
Oh, I guess that's Okay. All right.
I'm just cleaning.
So, do you want some?
What is it?
Vegetarian ramen. It's a new. Well, I like ramen a lot, but this is a new one with some eggplant, squash, and some other things in it.
He kind of looks at you a little dubiously. Vegetarian ramen.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a go.
And she just puts a bowl over to you, and then you're quite certain, this is home cooking, but it's you just must have some experience in this because it's pretty good, all things considered.
Okay. He'll eat it. Not complaining. Away from all the gun parts, but he'll eat it.
Nausicaa's door opens and you see her kind of almost she's not literally just poking her nose out, but she kind of just opens it and she kind of looks out. And she looks around for the smell of this nice food and see Julie's cooking something and squeezes out of her door. and kind of just wanders towards the food and looks at it. Did you make this?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Oscar examines it.
It's not it's fairly reminiscent of something that Lee might cook. It's just less greasy and there's no meat in it. Not that you can see anyway.
Oscar appears to act nonchalantly and just kind of shrugs. I guess I'll try some.
All right.
And at that point, Alva will walk into the common area, obviously coming from outside. And she's there surprised at Nausicaa's words, "I'll try some." Really surprised. And looks at Nausicaa and says, "You know there's no meat in it, right? Not even like the fake meat of Tico's Tacos truck?"
Their meat isn't fake. He told me it's all made of 100% meat. He won't tell me what kind of meat. He says it's a secret. And she looks at it again. What do you mean there's no meat in it?
It's vegetarian.
Why? On purpose?
Yeah. Well, like it's not that much of a choice, honestly. It's more of a, you know, I learned to cook a lot of vegetarian dishes because most people around me were full vegetarians. So most of the recipes I know and how I cook is normally vegetarian style cooking. So, you know.
I'll try it.
Well, it smells nice, Julie.
Thanks.
Yeah, Alva will kind of give a wave and goes towards her room.
Julie will just look at Alva and just says, like, "Are you all right? Like, I heard some shit, stuff went down."
I'm fine. I'm just coming to pick up a few things.
You should stay and eat with us. Boris isn't here.
Yet, he has the uncanny habit of showing up when you don't want him to show up.
I've made enough for you as well. I mean,
Okay, fine. I'll just stay for a quick dinner. Sure.
Julie smiles, gets a chair ready, serves up a bowl for Ava.
Yep. And Ava disappears into her room, and yeah, like the door is still open, so you can kind of hear her rumbling around.
Are you not angry at me anymore, Julie?
Wait, what?
Last time we spoke, you were not very happy with me.
Oh, well, yeah, like, I probably was tired of, I mean, honestly, these last stops, long time, I've been doing some fairly monotonous, but I probably worked out and trained more than I've done ever before, and that kind of just makes you very tired, and something I have to adjust to, as in, I need to, know when I'm tired, not get too carried away when I'm tired.
Oscar just shrugs and takes a forkful of the ramen. She twirls it up like spaghetti and puts it in her mouth, chews, let's consider it, and walks back into the kitchen. You see her covering the thing in salt and soy sauce.
That gets a look from James as he's sitting there with chopsticks. Looks at her. Philistine.
You see her for a moment look at the ketchup and consider it.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
She kind of like looks a bit shocked. And like glances around and like puts her head down. I wasn't gonna. And she'll again look longingly at the ketchup and bring it back in.
Suddenly, Nausicaa is Pikachu.
Julie laughs a bit at this. It's kind of right. I mean, it's you that have to eat it. Like, you're gonna eat the food, so I mean,
You made it. I mean,
hey,
you make enough to feed an army, so it's kind of
yeah,
rude, huh?
I used to work, or I used to live in a collective, like a commune. So when I made food there, it was literally maybe not for an army, but close.
You used to live in a commune?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Why?
told us that like the first week.
Me and Julie didn't speak much in the first week she was here.
I know. Sorry.
Ava comes back with a big, weekend bag. It's kind of like filled to the brim.
What are you doing?
She's moving out.
Why?
Boris?
Boris threatened her, made the clones leave, and because of that, one of them's dead. He also threatened Ava, said that he would drag her back physically if she left with them. A threat he has thankfully not fulfilled.
Well, I mean, that's because Ava's place is here with other mages.
I agree, but Ava is also free to make her own decisions. This is something we need to talk to Boris about. I've mentioned it to Grace and Julie before. I think we should speak to him with a single voice. He doesn't get to order us around or decide things for us. Not like that, at least.
No, not like that. I do agree with that. I don't disagree with him when it comes to the clones.
It's by the by, though.
I think everyone knows that. Julie just kind of just squints at him. Yeah, I think we got that.
The point is, though,
Okay.
as a
I will ruin dinner then.
as a group, as a cabal, we've chosen to live a certain way. We've chosen to obey certain rules. And one of those is that we would make decisions as a group.
Okay.
All our decisions are simply overridden because Boris doesn't like it. And if we refuse to do what he says, then he threatens us. I feel this is untenable, especially as many of us are planning on joining the traditions. Me and Ava are already members of the Hermetics. James will be soon. Julie, you seem to be wanting to join the Akashics. Caleb, if he ever comes back, may have joined the Thanatoi. I know Elijah is trying to join the Society of Ether. So,
Your
Boris doesn't...
your confidence in my passing Magister's tests.
I'm sure you can do it.
You will pass.
Thank you.
How do you know when you pass tests anyway?
Well, in this case, they just tell us.
You get a mark. I love getting marks.
Yeah.
Also looks slightly nostalgic.
James has 5 marks on his hand. He doesn't know what they were for.
My point is, though, we're gonna begin becoming mages for real. And although we owe Boris and Tasha and Lee a lot, that doesn't mean they can lord it over us like tyrants and decide what to do. If our masters tell us to do something and Boris disagrees with it, does that mean he can just countermand that? No.
I don't think so. I don't think that's how lead works.
I don't think it's how it works either.
And Lee is the ultimate owner of this chantry. It's
I agree.
sort of his word.
It's not even that. I can understand, in a way, where both you and Boris come from, James. I understand the risk that they posed while staying here. But he could have at least given me some time, a week or something, to set up a suitable place for them. Instead, he just wanted them gone overnight. And if he saw them in the chantry, he would kill them. If I were to leave with them, he would drag me back and kill them.
Hmm.
So I brought them to the only place that I figured that they could stay in. And then one of them got shot by the police, thinking that she was me.
Well, technically she was you.
Yes.
I disagree on that technicality. The clones are entirely different people. They have simply had the minds and faces of our implanted on them by the Technocratic Union.
Save for the lack of soul.
In what way do they not have a soul? In what way would you be able to quantify and display that?
Yeah. Alpha looks angry at that.
He shrugs. I mean,
As Grace
I'm
pointed
not.
out,
I'm not
test
going
tube
to.
babies came from a laboratory. Does that mean that test tube babies have no soul? I understand that the way that they've grown into existence is different than that of an average human being. But that doesn't make them less human.
I'm not going to argue that. Simply because there's no stance that I can take that would not immediately be shot down by the rest of you. However, I will say this. With one of them gone and one of them remaining, why not send the other one to your parents?
That is also not something that is done overnight. Plus, you really think that my parents have not heard that I'm dead?
You were called the Ginger Gun in the papers. All you would need to do is supply this other Ava with a story. One that that your parents could believe, and one that they would undoubtedly believe. Given a parent's love for their child.
In the news, I was pointed out with both name, nickname, and nationality.
Every parent wants to believe that their child is alive.
Parents, yes, sure. And I'm pretty sure that I can spin a story for my parents to believe in. But I think the Swedish authorities, the government, might be a bit more hesitant to believe that all of this was not real and everything is all right.
Your parents were able to send you to New York City for schooling. Do you think they couldn't keep you secret?
What kind of life would that be?
It'd be a better life than having to dye your hair every 6 months when someone noticed similarities. It'd be a better life than the city could offer.
I agree.
We can see what we can set up. If we can set her up with an alter ego in Sweden, then perhaps she could live under that and speak to your parents.
Yeah.
Would
I agree.
would also offer your parents closure.
I
My
know.
my parents don't seem to care where I am, but I have a feeling your parents do.
I would want to send her to Sweden. I do. But it's gonna be tricky. And I'm not very good with this tricky thing.
I
I'm
think
not
it's
a
going to be less
trickster.
tricky than you think.
Well,
Perhaps
I can only
Tasha
try
might
help. Yeah, I had already asked her, but I have not gotten a word back. In all honesty, I wrote her an email. I guess she's busy.
And possibly Nausicaa could use the firm to give her identification some legitimacy as a
Also, just
previous
nods.
as a previous employee.
Yeah, also just nods. We'll see.
Hmm.
It's what I'm doing with my alternate identification.
Yeah. Too.
There is something else I need to bring up to you all.
What's that?
By now, I'm sure some of you know that Grace ran into her ex-husband in the restaurant downstairs.
Grace's ex-husband. You're gonna have to explain the significance.
Grace's ex-husband went to prison for trying to kill her. He was,
Shit out of
Jesus fucking Christ.
if you notice that Grace has difficulties with one of her arms, that's because of him.
Hmm.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
Does he know she lives here?
Can I
That's what
kill
we
him?
don't know, but I did point out that it seemed awfully convenient that he would get out of prison not too long ago and then walk into any place in New York and walk into the exact restaurant where she lives. I mean,
As far as I
repeat. Can I kill him the next time he steps into the restaurant?
well, as far as I
Sure.
understand,
Why not?
she
For
doesn't.
all that kind of attention?
He does not know that she works here. She does not. He does not know that she came back here. She was very smart and didn't come back until for a few hours later. However, I used the Oracle. I tried to successfully gain information about him and his girlfriend, his new girlfriend, who, for the record, looks incredibly like Grace. However, this is not the worst part so far. When I tried to more directly survey them, they were protected by correspondence wards.
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
And he works for the Zeta Clinic as a driver.
You gotta be kidding.
I'm not kidding.
So I can kill him. That's good news.
Yeah, but preferably not at a restaurant. I mean, no, you can't kill him.
On this, I happen to agree with James. Killing him would probably be a good thing.
But killing... I mean, there must be another way.
No. No.
If he's recently come out of prison, there is a chance that if we incriminate him somehow, he would violate his parole and be sent back there.
Only to come
I mean-
back and bother Grace again. And
we're
use
not
that.
we're not killing people just randomly.
Yeah.
This isn't random. This is to protect a member of our gentry.
Why don't we try and get him somewhere? I mean,
the
I
next
might be able...
Sorry. The next step I'm going to do is I need to speak to the guardian of the chantry, and I'm going to establish some even greater defenses than the chantry has, so that once I felt the encryption and defenses around them, I backed off. I didn't want to break through it. I didn't want to raise any attention. However, if I have things that will make me even harder to track than the Chantry's already existing defenses, then I'll try to. I believe that I can get into their personal devices and see if there's any messages. I could even
Also-
observe him while he works.
If anyone wants to have their mind shielded for any kind of outside influences, I can help with that.
I can take care of my own mental shield, but as far as killing him goes, I've had friends who have ended relationships, who have sought out partners that look like exes.
He's an abusive motherfucker, but we're not killing him. We're not coming. You're not going judgment.
So
Everything we're saying here is moot. Firstly, we make these decisions as a group, but more importantly, the deciding vote is Grace's. It
Grace,
is
yes.
her ex-husband.
But I would like to offer an alternative to killing.
Let's go. Looks Ava.
I am practicing with my, well, capability of influencing someone's mind. I might be able to tweak him a little bit.
you mean
Tweak
make him
enough,
forget?
sort of.
Completely rewrite his memories.
That I don't know how far I can push it, but yes.
He closes one eye. It's like, how is that less violation than killing him?
It wouldn't kill him, and I could just maybe just take out his violent tendencies. If I could just tweak that part, he would be a better human being.
So make him a new person?
Yes.
Against his will.
Well, his will currently is beating people half to death.
I mean, would it be better to shoot him?
Yeah.
That would probably
Yeah,
also
it
be
would.
against
This
his
isn't a
will.
discussion. We should not be having this, especially not if it's going to lead to disagreement among us. The
Fair
first thing we
enough.
need to do is find out more information about him. And although his actions are scary and his threats to Grace are real, he is an employee of the Zeta Clinic. I do not believe that this is a coincidence. He's almost certainly being used by them to hunt her down.
Yeah. But you're right, this is ultimately Grace's decision on what to do with him. Anyway, thanks for the food, Julie. I better get going.
Are you sure you won't stay?
Yes.
We should have a meeting in a few days at Iliad, discussing things for the future. As I've mentioned to a few of you already, I believe Caleb has left. And I would like to put myself forward for this position of Aegis. If we don't have anyone else that wants to do it. I can't fight very well, but I believe I can ward things, protect things, encrypt them.
Julie kind of looks at Nausicaa. I mean, it's the. She stops herself, just looks very uncertain, and she just says, "It's about protecting the Chantry, right? What exactly does this normally entail?"
Means that you supervise defenses. Doesn't mean that you're the one having to do it per se, but you supervise the thing, make sure that it runs smoothly.
It would be contingency plans, things like that. Providing
Escape
warding
routes.
defenses, schemes, plans, coordinating it.
Emergency protocol, probably.
Those good notes. Are you interested in the position, Julie?
Julie just seems unsure of, well, several things for a moment, as she just says, yeah, I am. It's You don't need to roll perceptions. It's almost as if what she just said was a surprise even to herself.
There's a look on Nausicaa's face. It's not a smile because she doesn't smile, but it's yeah. There's a kind of like twinkle in her eyes
Proud.
almost. Yeah. In that
Ava will
case,
smile.
I already hold 2 positions of researcher and funder. I will rescind my offer to become Aegis.
How
Yeah,
about
like,
we
I've been-
evaluate the different positions that we have during this meeting? Perhaps Grace would like to take on something as well, or maybe we've missed a position.
Good idea.
Well, it's just like I've been training with Lee, and I don't know, like maybe I'm completely off my rocker, but he's shown me a couple of things, and I'm getting the hang of it. So I don't know.
You're closest with Lee, as well as the fact that this is at least an original intent, I believe, in Akashic Chantry, would make that also very appropriate.
Anyway, I'll see you all later.
Right. Yeah. Take care, Ava, and just call if there's anything.
Where are you staying?
The Evelyn. It's a hotel. I'm staying at the Evelyn. It's a hotel. And she'll just write the address on a card and hands it to James. Here.
I'll come by later to see how you are.
Make sure to ring beforehand.
I will.
Helps.
I
Okay.
know how these things work.
I'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye,
Yeah.
Ava.
Picking up her bag and leaves.
It is good you're going to go see her, James. I do not wish her to feel disconnected from the rest of us.
I think we should all see her until she figures out what to do with that other clone.
I agree. She has been again talking about leaving. For some reason, she believes that
I don't agree with Boris's methods, but I agree with his reasoning.
Nausicaa just shrugs. Either way, there is a precedent that needs to be addressed.
You're right.
This pulling rank bullshit is,
Bullshit.
yeah.
We owe Boris and Tasha a lot, and according to the protocols, we should respect them. However, threatening physical violence against Ava if she does not do what he says is unacceptable. I believe it will be even worse if Ava were to tell her mater. The Hemetics would not take kindly to a Vibana ordering around their apprentices and threatening them.
No. If anything, from what I gathered from my meeting with Ulysses, her mater would be very angry.
Exactly. We are young, and Boris has done a lot for us, but this does not give him ownership over us. It does not give him right of punishment. This is also not his chantry, ultimately. I believe we should involve Lee and Tasha in the discussion.
Maybe not Tasha, but perhaps Lee.
Well,
Tasha seems preoccupied with her own activities. Doesn't seem like she would pay this event much mind. That's all I meant.
I may agree with you, but I think bringing it up may be important.
Setting a precedent?
Yes.
Fair enough. I've made some
Also-
headway. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, she will just say quickly. Also, Elijah has asked me to research Iron Man's solutions. Part of his induction into the Society of Ether is to steal an item from them, a book.
Book. What type of book?
Something that is
Society of Ether.
Yes. They are, alongside the virtual adepts, considered the other technomancers within the Technocratic Union.
Oh, it's just the names. Like,
Within the Technocratic Union.
Apologies. That was Robbie's brain fart. Within the tradition.
Fair enough.
Or maybe not.
No, maybe not.
I don't know. It's just, like, couldn't I just like techno junkies or like anything else with like the society? Like, never mind.
I believe until recently they referred to themselves as the Sons of Ether. They elected for a more egalitarian name within the last
like
decade,
that.
I believe.
I approve. Well, what type of book is he looking for?
I don't know. One that is to do with that tradition's links to a group within the Technocratic Union.
Hmm.
I'm going to research them, see what I can find out. And if the facility looks able to be.
Been to that bookstore.
Don't bother.
Why not?
Well, because the owner is an asshole.
I know the owner is an asshole, but maybe he might be able to help. And if it's someone else inquiring,
In what
the
manner
Sons of
would he be
Ether
able to
might
help?
be. He might be able to tell me where I can tell Elijah where to find the book.
We know where to find the book.
Oh,
It is in a technocratic.
you didn't? I didn't hear that.
I'm not sure Nausicaa said it, but to be fair, I don't think she elaborated. The book is inside a technocratic facility.
Is it like the Zeta Clinic? What are we looking at?
I'm not sure. I believe if we go to it, we could. We should certainly try to. Well, hopefully it will go better than last time.
It should.
Don't think it takes much to do better than last time, but yeah.
No, it definitely should. I've been working on a few things, and James smiles.
Oh, really? Would you care to demonstrate?
Yeah, actually, I'd love to.
We should go to the temple then.
Let's go to the temple.
And yeah. Would you
Give
care
me
to
one
demonstrate?
second. Give me 1 second. I figured. I'll take it.
Stuff is happening.
Yeah, while stuff is happening, Nausicaa will head over to the head down to the thing with the others into the temple, taking her gloves and glasses.
So you're going to do what exactly? Julie just looks after them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to step away for a second. What's going on?
Julie just looks at the dude like, what are you guys doing again?
I've been working on a few spells.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I think Nausicaa is interested to see what I've done,
Yeah.
which is sorry, guys.
You okay, dude?
Yeah.
Is Julie coming?
Julie will just look at the two, and she will just be like, yeah, I'll come along as well," and she will just join the two. Do we want to end the scene here, or?
No, I think we're gonna see some magic.
Okay. Well, the three of them will move towards or will move to the temple, and yeah, Julie will just, she'll actually drink from the water, and while she's there, she will just seem to just chill out more than anything.
You'll see off to the side of the center of town, or of the area where the temple is, almost halfway in between where the temple is and where the river is, there is a circle of tiki torches.
What the fuck is that? Like, that will be her immediate reaction, is she just catches sight of whatever that.
That would be telling. I'd rather show.
Nausicaa looks observant.
Right.
And James goes to stand. He pulls out a lighter, and he lights one of the torches, one that he is directly standing in front of. And did somebody start this scene in the Mage Dice Roller?
I do not believe so.
Feel free.
What's the scene called?
Another Day in the Happy Dragon.
Cute.
Get it. There we go. There we go. And as he goes into the middle of the circle, let me pull up my character sheet real quick. Pretty sure it is. No. Damn it. There we go. All right. There we go. I'm going to be rolling charisma performance
Practice roll.
for practice roll. That is one success. So it goes down to a 5. And first Arate roll. He gets one success. He begins to chant. There's no words to the chant. It's just primal sounds. But it's at least, you can at least listen to it. It's not as good as the first time you did it, but you can at least listen to it as the flame begins to hop from torch to torch. Second Arate roll. No successes. Wait, do I practice with every Arate roll or just
Yes.
one R?
No, you can do it with every single roll.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay. So let's see if those might actually be successes.
Are you making this into a rite or a ritual? Or or just a consecutive load of rolls?
This is consecutive rolls.
Okay.
But yeah. So let's see if those are actually successes, because I thought it was just one
Yeah, that sounds
practice roll. God damn it! Only one success. So none of those are successes.
Nope.
It seems to stop halfway. So I guess it's not going to be as big as it was before, but the flame begins to hop. And it's lighting each one. And then he begins to change. Instead of chanting, he is now singing in a... Again, there's no actual words to it. It's just sounds, but it's higher than it was. Practice roll. There we go. So this is going to be at a difficulty 3.
No, because each one of these is +3 difficulty, so it'll be back at 6. Each
Wait,
roll,
what?
So each consecutive roll that's not in the form of some kind of ritual is at +1 difficulty. The same effect. So you'll be at plus. No, you'll be at +2 difficulty, so it'll be difficulty 5 now for you. Also, I don't think the effect counts as vulgar here, actually. So I think the
it does.
It does count as vulgar.
It counts as vulgar, but you don't get paradox.
Okay, sure.
So it's difficulty 5 then? Yes?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Those are 2 successes. The flames from the different torches begin to hop off. It's not a complete circle. We'll say it's halfway at this point. But they begin to hop off of the torches, leaving the torches unlit, but the flames are collecting above his hand. And the singing stops. Flame is still there. And he looks at Nausicaa. And
Nausicaa has a raised eyebrow of impressedness.
I'm pretty sure I can throw this. But as there's no target, he just clenches his hand and the flame goes out.
You should show this to Master Lorenzo.
I will show this to Master Lorenzo.
If
And
you-
I will also show him this. He'll light each of the torches until he is surrounded by a ring of fire. And he will stand back in the center. And he begins to whistle. This is at difficulty 6. So, and I'm gonna spend a willpower because at this point I'm showing off.
Fuck it.
So that's 2 successes. There is a wind that begins to gather. The light breeze that's in the air begins to gather around James. It begins to move his hair in a circle, his shirt in a circle, but he just continues whistling as he slowly reaches his arms out. And second RTA roll is probably at difficulty 7. Maybe 10. So, nice.
Nice.
And he brings his hands together, and the clap echoes around. And as the wind is tossed out, all of the torches are put out simultaneously.
Nausicaa, flinches slightly at the display of force. But you see a kind of a look similar to the one she kind of gave Julie earlier, of like kind of this begrudging, like impressedness.
He smiles to himself. I will be showing both of these to the Magister. As well as my shield.
Nausicaa nods. Later on, if you would care to demonstrate it for me again, I'd like to take notes. If you wouldn't mind.
No, I wouldn't mind. But this isn't... He takes a breath and lets it out through his nose. This isn't scientific.
Still, I would like to take notes.
You're free to do so. But the only thing I'm worried about is in the field, there probably won't be an adequate source of fire. I can't create it. Not yet.
I think smokers bring devices that create fire with them. Lighters.
And I'm working on something else. But it's going to be dangerous to test.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I can channel lightning.
Have you heard of House Flambeau?
I know nothing of the Hermetics apart from what you've told me.
Well, Ava is joining potentially House Shea. They are the librarians and the academics. I'm joining House Fortuné, who study luck probability. Fortuné are, I suppose, the stereotypical Hermetics. They're the warriors of our order. There are lots of ancient stories of them immolating entire armies, calling down comets, throwing fireballs, storms that decimate entire cities. Just food for thought.
It sounds nice. It does. But there should be a reason behind doing all these.
I'm sure they had their reasons.
Showing off in front of you two is fun. But that's not a reason to hurl a fireball in someone's face.
Saving somebody, one of our lives, maybe, though. Protecting the Chantry, protecting the rest of us. Like I said, just something to think about.
I wonder if... No, it's stupid. Never mind. Just sort of shakes his head.
Would you like to say something further? When people say that, it usually implies they've thought of something, but they are worried that it will be received badly.
It's stupid, but... What about justice?
Justice? In what way?
He sort of... He looks down and... Like I said, there should be a reason why you're hurling a fireball into someone's face. Against the technocrats, it's nothing. The very reason that they're technocrats is reason enough, but I don't see myself casting down a storm on a whole city just for the fuck of it.
I never said the members of the Hermetic Order that I was referencing did it for the fuck of it. They may have had good reasons to win a war, protect somebody, or maybe they had bad reasons for vengeance or to kill a rival. How you use your power is up to you. Although I must say I don't believe in the concept of justice.
Why is that?
This could take a moment to consider. It's difficult to quantify. It is obviously entirely subjective from person to person. And I believe such a subjective concept is difficult to appreciate as a concept. Your justice is different to my justice.